shall not walk in darkness.
Shall not what?
Shall not walk in darkness.
Shall not what?
Shall not walk in darkness.
Hey man, all these people out here is walking in darkness and they don't even know it. They better sit up and turn over the damn right. Give me the word of the Lord.
Damn. Come on, get out.
Come. But shall have the light of life.
Right?
That's it on that.
Right. So those that come into this world will have the light of life, man. And that light of life is these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Let me get Isaiah 45 and 17. Right. And when we say world, we're not talking about America, man. We're not talking. We're not talking about this earth, man. We're talking about a specific world. Bring it up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Right.
Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
Right, and that world that Yahweh shines the light to is Israel, man. We don't give a damn about how people feel about us standing out here telling them that the law, that the word is not for everybody.
That's right.
We don't give a damn about that. They can say we look crazy with these fringes on. We don't give a damn about that, man. We know what it's for. We know what it's for. We woke. They still sleep. Right? Let me get Matthew 1 and 21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 21.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right, so the only people that need saved for the sins is the Israelites, man.
That's
the
right.
only people that's walking in darkness that the Lord care about is the Israelites, man. That's the only people he care about, right?
I will use that.
This is Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68. And it reads, blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
The Lord God of who?
The Lord God of Israel.
The Lord God of Israel.
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
You got a second to hear the word of the Lord? You want to come back when you're done? All right, can you go ahead? See that?
Verse 69, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
Right, from our enemies, man. And if you don't know, in 2021, the white man is our enemy.
That's right.
The other nations that's against us is our enemies.
That's right.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
I wasn't holding on. I had a precept in my head. What was I about to call?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 3. And it reads, 13. And it reads, as it is written, Jacob have I loved.
That's right.
But Esau have I hated.
Right. The Lord only loved Jacob, man. He hate Esau. And if you don't know who Esau is the so-called white man, man.
That's right.
Right? Let me get the book of I think it's one.
This is the book, Salakia, I got a precept. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Right, so we eating the roll right now, man. The roll is this book.
Right.
We eating the roll, and we out here trying to speak to Israel, man.
Right.
But they rather ride around on the bike. They rather stay on this bike and do all kind of folly and madness, man.
That's right.
These people been out here since 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, man. Doing all kinds of madness. Right? Right, man. So let me get
I got a precept for you,
Go ahead, bring out your precept.
Block it. Oh, that's second Maccabees. Damn. You can call what you was gonna call it. Sorry. I'm looking for that first Maccabees 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 2. And it reads, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
Right, so we know what's good and what's the perfect word of Yahweh, man. It's this word. That's what's perfect. We've been in the world before, man, and we came out of the world. Now we following the words of Yahweh and bringing it out to our people.
Sorry.
Right?
Chapter 1. I mean, the prayer of Maccabees.
Hey, you got a minute to hear the word of the Lord?
Sitting right there, you might as well come hear the word, man. Come on, wait for a second, man.
Con, all praise.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
he might be, he might not be.
What would you consider yourself? What would your nationality be?
Nigeria.
Nigerian. Con, all praises, all praises.
Yoruba.
Yeah, come on, still.
Con. So don't you know you would be considered as a what is it? Judah. Right, you would be from the tribe of Judah. Right?
Good
A
chance.
good chance, right?
I know what you just listening, bro. That's all. We're just trying to teach you some words in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. So what would you? He say? What do you say?
Judah.
Right. So I'm gonna bring out a few precepts that also abide to Judah as well as the other 12 tribes, as well as the other 11 tribes. Right. So let me get 28 and 15.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15.
Bring it out.
And it reads, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So do you think a curse is a good thing or a bad thing? Right. It's a bad thing, right? Right. So when Moses was speaking in the wilderness, he was speaking to the Israelites, and he was giving them the law that the Lord was about to receive, was about to give to them, right? Go ahead, keep going.
Curse shall thou be in the city, and curse shall thou be in the field.
Right. So what people live the lowest in the city? Far as like living wise, would you say the so-called white man? You think the white man is living bad in the city?
If they are under curses,
I can't hear you.
if they are under curses, they're not going to live good lives.
I can't hear you. Can you come up?
I say, if they are under curses, they're not going to be living good lives.
You don't believe in good lives.
Oh, he said if they were under curses, they wouldn't be living good lives.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Right. Sorry about that, King. I can hear you. Right. So, who was cursed in the field, right?
Those who don't obey the word of God.
Well, yeah, that's why that happened. Right. So, who served in the field? Was it the so-called white man or the so-called black man? Who was on the slave plantations picking cotton?
Both, but just the sinners.
Yeah, us, but what?
Sinners. Those who don't obey.
Sinners. Right. We sinned, so there was a curse that was put upon us for sinning, right? So, Right, let me get it.
Precept.
Daniel 9:11.
Say Daniel 9:7.
Daniel 9:11, Lamentations 5:7.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 7.
Bring it
and
out.
it reads, Salaki.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because he have sinned against him.
Right, so all the curses have been poured upon Israel because we sinned against the Most High. Right? Go ahead, bring it.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 7. And it reads, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
Right, so our fathers sinned, right? They sinned in the wilderness, right? And now we're taking on the sins of their transgressions, right? So, yeah, it was, you know, in the field, it was us in the field, right? That's right. Deuteronomy 28:45. 46, like.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right, so we know that the Lord is dealing with the Israelites from the signs and from the wonders. Like the sign that you got right here. It say Bel Station. You know it's Bel Station because of the sign, right? Right. So the curses, we know we're the children of Israel because of the curses. Only the Israelites went into slavery, right? Only the Israelites had to serve against the curses that the Lord put upon us, right? 28, I think it's 54.
Fine, that's evil I told your brother.
Right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54.
Bring it out.
And it reads, and the tender Salakia, and the tender man that is among you,
His eyes
Salakia, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Right, so who have an evil eye towards their brother? Who would you say? You would say us, right? Oh, the sinners. Well, of course, man. But who? If two black men walk through here right now, right? They don't know each other. One say, "Hey, what's up, man? How's the family?" The other, what you think the other one gonna do? If he don't know the dude, what you think he gonna do?
He might not react properly.
Right, he may not react properly. That's an evil eye towards your brother, right? So that's another curse that's on the Israelites.
That's right.
Let me get
It's more on that.
Come on, go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom.
Right, so who's known for leaving a wife? Who's known for not being present, right, with their kids? Who's known? Who's known for not being present with their wife, and who's known for not being present in their kid's life? What race of people?
What's the race of people? Well, I think sinners.
You think everything's sinners?
Disobedient.
Hey, the book of Deuteronomy 1:1.
All right, bring up Deuteronomy 1:1. Right, so you think it's just sinners?
Well, you tell me who are they?
I think it's the so-called black men.
That's right.
The so-called Hispanic man.
That's
man.
right.
We known for not being present. I didn't have my dad around, man. We known for not being present, right? Did you have your father around?
Of course.
You did? Hey, man, well that's a good thing.
All praise.
That's a good thing. A lot of people out here didn't have their father present. So that's another curse that's on the Lord's people, right? And it wasn't because they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there, so they chose the easy way out, man.
What's this religion all about?
I'm sorry.
What kind of religion?
This isn't a religion, man. This is the word of the Lord.
That's right.
It's not a religion. Go ahead, Ken.
How long have you been in America? Here? You in school? Why are you a security guard? Why aren't you a doctor? Why are you a security guard?
I just decided to go.
You make good money? Good? Pay your bills? You have a lot of money left over? Let me hack out one of the Let me show you something about this stuff. Right? What we're trying to show you, brother, is that you just start up believing you are Nigerian.
These tabs are spelling me.
That part of Africa, West Africa, was not inhabited until after 70 AD. Right? A group of people came down from Israel into the west part of Africa and inhabited the west part of Africa. Right? Those people were Israelites. Right? So a lot of West Africans are actually Israelites, they're not Africans. That's why the East Africans, Egyptians, Ethiopians, Somalians, they sold the West Africans into slavery through the Ghana port, right? You know about that, right? So a lot of Ghanaians, they're Israelites as well. That's why they see the same parts. So you come to America, right? And you come to America, you gotta do some territory. A Somalian will come to America and have a loan to own a business. You see the difference, right? An Ethiopian will come to America and own a store, right? But you come to America and you're a security guard. You see that? There's a difference. There's a difference because you're not the same people, so you're treated differently. You understand? Your life is made harder, right? So what we're showing you is your heritage is Israel, and you got to come back to